Hey guys, Junior here from Ascend AI Solutions. If you're struggling to land high ticket clients for your B2B service business, I've got the video and the strategy for you. I'll walk you through the platforms that we use, a special platform that allows us to scrape up to 50,000 leads all at the click of a few buttons. I'll then walk you through how it's all automated in the way that we personalize each message, and then I'll show you how we then load it to our instantly campaign. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I thought I'd first start by walking you through the platforms that you'll require. The first platform that we need to use is one called Apollo.io. And this is simply a platform that allows you to access up to 210 million contacts and 35 million companies. So it's quite a huge database of leads that we can scrape from. The second platform that we'll be using is Apify. If you're not sure what Apify is, you should definitely check it out. It's a platform that allows us access to different scrapers that really good coders have created. So here are some examples of different scrapers. There's a TikTok data extractor, Google Maps extractor, even an Instagram scraper that allows you to scrape and download Instagram post profiles, etc. So the possibilities are endless. And when you actually log into the console, you'll see it's kind of like a store of web scrapers that you can choose from. And then we'll also need make.com, which is essentially a platform that allows us to glue together different applications. And there are over, um, I think it's over 10,000 different platforms that are already loaded on, with more and more each day. So just think of make.com as a way to be able to glue together different applications. And then finally, the last platform that we'll use is Instantly AI, which allows us to send thousands of emails from this very platform, all automated. It also allows us to be able to write our copy and and write to the leads that we scrape. So these are the four platforms, and let me first start by showing you how we can start scraping. So let's start off with Apollo.io. So I've logged in here, and just a tip for anyone who might be wanting to use Apollo.io, a great way to do this is if you go into their plans, um, if you go into their plans and you go to the professional one. I've already done this, so it won't make too much sense. But if you go to the professional one, it'll let you click this try for free button. You want to do the professional one, and I think it's given me 14-day trial. The reason why I went straight for the professional trial is because it will allow me to have access to a lot more filters than if I were to use the normal platform, the normal sort of basic free trial. Sorry. And so this is what it looks like. So you'll come to, a section here which allows you to search for people. I can search for companies, lists, and other things. But just for the purpose of this video, all we're wanting to do is search for decision makers. So here's the scenario that I want to talk through. Imagine that we are, are targeting digital marketing agencies that help other businesses, and we want to sell our services to them. And so let's take that scenario, and I'd essentially work my way through this. So first filter I choose is make sure that every email is verified. So I'll just tick this box. Hopefully it will work for me now. Sprucing up my records. Sorry, yep, it's finally worked. It was just having a moment. Okay, and then once so we only want verified emails, and there's still 96 million contacts to go through. So for job titles, very simply, you know what, this is going really slow. So what I might do is I might just refresh this. And I'm just going to pause the video because my computer is lagging a little bit. 1 second, guys. Okay, looks like we're back. And then what we want to do now is we want to search for job titles. So one of the first job titles, just for this purposes, I just want to contact founders, right? So I want to contact digital marketing agencies that are just starting up. We don't want them too big, and hence the word founder would be better. And then for the number of employees, look, founders aren't too big. I'll skip the 1 to 10, and let's just go for 11 to 20. Oh, excuse me. So go for 11 to 20, and then 21 to 50. So about the mid-range um, employees. And then for the industry, look, I'm simply just going to target marketing and advertising. And so I still have 16,000 contacts left. Now with this, we want to try to get the number down to about 2,500 contacts. So one way that I can lower that number is simply by you know, refining the filters. So let's get rid of and only have 21 to 50 employees, and that gives me 6.7 thousand. So if I want to now reduce the number even more, what I might do is I might even add some more keywords. So for example, company keyword could be digital marketing. And let me add that as a keyword. And okay, so now we're back up at 1.6 thousand. And then what I might do here as well, because I want that number to go higher, I might add in maybe CEO. This might bump up our number as well for the titles. Yeah, okay, right. So we're at right about 2.4K. So just under that 2.4 thousand. Okay, so this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. So let me show you the power of this method that I'm going to use. So normally people would try to download these contacts straight from here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to Apify, and we're going to use a special scraper that allows us to simply just use the URL from the Apollo search that we just did, and it will scrape for these leads that we've just done. So let me go back. So I'm going to take the URL. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go over to this Apify scraper. So I'm in my account now. The scraper that you're looking for is this Code Crafter Apollo IO scraper. It allows you to scrape up to 50,000 leads, which is pretty awesome. And all you have to enter is a URL. So I've put in my URL, and then we can basically give it parameters. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to try to scrape all 2,500. I'm just going to scrape about 100 leads just so that you can see it work, and it'll be much quicker. For these options, you can just leave them as no timeout and no maximum, and just copy these settings here. And then all I do from here is I click save and start, and the scraper will run. So essentially it's going back to that Apollo search that we just did, and it's scraping for every lead that on that list there. So you can see it starting to work in the background, and hopefully this won't take too long. And I might just yeah, okay, perfect. So it's succeeded. Everything went according to plan. Total records are less than the minimum. Okay. All right. So it wants me to scrape. Okay. Let me go back. It needs me to scrape at least 500. So sorry about that. I'll just quickly do 500. So I'll redo that again. Okay, so I had a little technical difficulty, but just picking up where we left off. So what I had done was I had just scraped 500 leads using the Apollo scraper. And now what we're going to do is we're going to export those results and we're going to put them into a Google Sheet. Now, just before I do that, I just wanted to point out a couple little cool things about Apify. So, the reason why I love this scraper is because it's one of the few scrapers in Apify that all you're required to do is put in the URL of the Apollo search that you made. So, this URL that I did previously, um, all I have to do is put it in there, select the number, and then run. And then the good thing about this is that it charges me $1.20 per thousand leads. So this full run has actually only cost me about 60 cents for 500 leads. So already now, if you're a business that is, wanting a cheap way to get some leads, this is a great scraper to use. With Apify, they've got various scrapers and they all charge real differently. So this one he charges on a per lead basis. There's others that they'll charge or make you pay a subscription, a monthly subscription where you can use the scraper for month to month, but you pay a little subscription. For me, I don't really personally like those ones. I like ones that are like this where you can pay per lead. And that's essentially what I've done here. So let's open up our results again. So here's the success message. And what I'll do now is I'll just export the results. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to download it as a CSV. And it requires me to select fields. So first name, last name. Um, let's see. I actually have a bit of a template that I like to use when it comes to formatting my spreadsheet. So let me just quickly pull that up. But essentially, it always begins with first name, last name, and then potentially, I think it goes. Oh yeah, obviously we need their email. It's very important. It's what we mostly need. Organization name. We're looking at title. We're looking for headline. We're looking for state. We also need their LinkedIn URL. We also need the city. We also need the country. And that is pretty much it, I believe. Yeah, awesome. So then we'll download the CSV file. And I'm just going to save it in my downloads. And what I want to do now is create a Google Sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open a new window and just go Sheets New. And I'm going to, let's do, so file, import. We're going to upload from my downloads, Apollo Scraper, dataset, append it to the current sheet, and then import the data. And so what we have here is a beautiful list of, yeah, a beautiful list of founders and CEO of digital marketing agencies. And I believe there is about, how many is there? Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, a lot. Yeah, 501. Well, it's probably counting the headings there, but you get the point. And here we have, sorry, I'll just get rid of this. Yep, so we've got our beautiful list of leads, and what I'm just going to do is I'm just for the purpose of this, I'm going to call this YT test lead list. And perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this into a file in my Google Drive where I keep all my lead lists. So lead list, okay, yeah, okay, perfect. So I'll just chuck it in here. YT test lead list and move it into there and it should be saved. Okay, perfect. So the reason why we've done that is we've put it in a Google Sheet is because it is the first step in a make automation. As I was saying, so if you know what make.com is, it allows you to glue together various various platforms, websites, you name it on the internet. And the automations that you can build are pretty crazy, pretty awesome. Here's one that that I've actually from a friend of mine named Saad Belkade. You should check out his um, YouTube channel. I'll link him in the description. But he's the one who sort of gave me this flow. But I've tweaked it a little bit. But essentially, all it does is it takes the Google Sheet, it then validates the email. It takes the contact out of the Google Sheet. We then validate the email. We really want to make sure that we validate every email that we scrape. The reason is because if you just put this directly into your email list and you start emailing, random emails, not knowing if they're validated, if any of them bounce back, it actually red flags your inbox, and your basically all the money you spent on emails and creating inboxes go to waste because Google will flag it, and your account basically either gets banned or all your emails just end up in spam. So it's what you don't want. So what you really want to do is you want to have really clean lists. So validating the emails is a good way of doing that. And we use a platform called mails.so because mails.so allows us to check if the emails are valid. So mails.so will check if the email is valid. When the mails.so will respond to us and tell us if it's valid, it will speak to us in a format that make.com can't really speak in. So what we have to do is pass the result, and that's all that step is. And from here, we will know whether the email is valid or not valid. If the email is not valid, it will just get caught in this filter here. If the email is valid, it will then pass through these next few steps. All these remaining steps they're all to do with personalization. So Exa is a really cool platform that allows you to search any website, and what it will do is it will take that website that you've given it and it will scrape for any milestones, achievements, any information that might be relevant to your outbound outreach. Once we've retrieved all that information, we then use a company name formatter, basically ChatGPT. All this step really is doing is just helping us to format their company name. What we mean by this is sometimes in the email we'll refer to their company name, and we don't want to be using too formalized language. So, for example, if I'm reaching out to someone from Apple, I won't say, um, "Hey, I heard that Apple LLC Incorporated company has been doing great this year." You don't want to like come off that uh yeah, you don't want to come off like that. You want to come off like, "Hey, I heard Apple is doing really well." You want to sound really normal. Um, and we want the AI to do that. So, I mean, I could do it myself, but this defeats the purpose of having an automation, right? So I want AI to do that. And that's all that this step is doing. So once we've got all their milestones, once we've cleaned up their name and formatted the company name properly, then we ask ChatGPT to take this information and create us a 2-line personalization. So every email that we'll send to every single person on this lead list will have a personalized first 2 lines, and it'll all be different, and it'll all be AI, commenting on some type of win or some type of milestone um, on their website. And then and then final step is to load it to instantly your campaign. So you want that contact, that lead, to be added to the campaign that you're running. So here's what the campaign might look like. Let me just delete this. This is from a prior. So I've got this test campaign here, and you know what I might do? I'm just going to add a new campaign, just to keep it safe. So let's call this YT test campaign. And I'm going to click continue. And so this is what a sort of bare bones draft campaign looks like. It's pretty empty. It has no leads. I haven't done any of the copy or emails. I haven't put in the schedule of how often emails should be sent. and I haven't put in any options for the delivery. By the way, this is instantly. So I love instantly. Um, I think that this is one of the best email outreach platforms there are. There's the top two for me is probably Instantly and Smart Lead. So Instantly and Smart Lead, and the best way that I've heard people someone compare this before is I've heard people say that somebody I heard once said um, that Instantly you can think of like an iPhone, and Smart Lead is like an Android. So they're both really good at what they do, but the difference is in the customization and also the user interface. I love Instantly. I'm also an iPhone man as well, but I love Instantly because of the interface. It's so easy to use. Okay, getting a bit distracted. Okay, so back to where we were going. So we want to add leads here. Okay, and we're going to use this flow to take each of the leads that we had on our Google Sheet. We're going to validate each email, and only the emails that are valid are going to go through and be added to our Instantly campaign. So I'm just going to run it for you here and just make sure that I am using the right spreadsheet. So the first thing we do is we just make sure that we map the correct spreadsheet. So yeah, so YouTube test lead list was the lead list that we created. Just to, for example, yeah, so I'm just going to do one for now, and then I'm just going to run this. And so it's picked up the email, it's validated email, so the email is passed through, so it's valid, and personalization has been created, and the email has been a personalized email has been created, and it should have been added to my Instantly account. So if I now just refresh this screen, I should. Oh, no leads. What the? No leads found. Hmm. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back. Let me just check what's happened here. Okay, so this hasn't quite saved, so it still hasn't picked up my YT test campaign. Let me just save this for a second. Let me go back. Okay, okay. Sometimes make.com, you just have to double check and re-enter. Okay, perfect. Let me just run this again. Apologies about the mishap. That was my bad. Should work now. Okay, excellent. So, all right, beautiful. I can see that personalized message come through. Can't wait to see it on this end. Okay, perfect. So the leads come through. Hang on, let me just refresh it again. We want to make sure that all um the variables, the fields come through as well. Okay, perfect. So it's come through. Okay, so we've got the email provider, status, contact. So the name of the person, the company, website, and personalization. And so all of these are what we call variables. And why are variables important? Because when we go to write our sequences or our emails, so for example, I'm saying, so when, yeah, the reason why variables are important is because we can use them in our copy and personalize things. So for example, if I just click for the subject, if I put variable first name, I just paste this in here, preview this, you can see her name is in the subject, Lena. So this is cool. So you can do things like first name. Quick question. Oh no, don't put the exclamation mark. You want to make it you want to make it feel as if it's like a conversation that you're just having, a polite conversation that you're having with someone, a friendly conversation. Um, and so preview that, Lena. Quick question, and then you can start typing your email. Hey, blah blah blah. Saw that you did X. Um, wanted to see how you felt about cold outreach. You get the point, right? Well, what I want to show you is something pretty cool, right? Remember in our leads list, what was one of the variables? Personalization, right? So if I go back, sequences, all I have to do is add a variable, personalization, preview, boom. Um, that the first part of the email is written for me by AI, and that's what that's essentially this step here. It's been written by AI, and then all I have to do is just add in my call to action. So what did it say? It said, "Hey Lena, I noticed that your leadership at Web 3D is pioneering in the immersive tech space. Are you exploring innovative ways to refine your onboarding process to ensure new users fully experience the potential of your 3D solutions?" That's just like a good icebreaker. Okay. Um, and then you could say what you do. Um, you know, I run an AI agency that helps businesses land more appointments with their ideal clients. You might put your case study in. Last month, we helped X achieve Y in less than 30 days. Is it worth a chat? Or something like that. You want your call to action. Thanks, Junior. Okay, awesome. And then you just preview that. And then this is what the email looks like, something real simple like that. And the cool thing is that every single person that we add to, you know what, why don't we just quickly show you what I mean. So I'll just delete Lena for a second. I'll go back to our make automation, and I'm going to do a limit of 5 this time. So we'll just take 5 leads, and let's just see how the automation runs. Okay, awesome. So the first lead's gone through. I think that's Lena again. It's now doing the second one. Let's see if the second one's been validated. So the second one actually didn't make it through. So two have been, two have not been, two are not valid. So 2 of the emails from my list, now 3 aren't valid. So this is great. So it's picking up the invalid ones, sorry, and it's only putting through the valid ones. So that means in my lead list, I can know for sure that these emails are all valid. So I'm only sending valid emails. Another cool thing is that there's a personalized message for each one. So everyone's email is going to be personalized in the first 2 lines, which is great. I think that's all I have to show you. I mean, I could go into, information about sequences and schedules, but that's probably enough for one video. If you're struggling to land, high ticket clients, feel free to steal this strategy. I'll put everything in the description that you might need if you want to run this yourself, including, links to Apollo, links to the Apify scraper. I'll put the JSON, and the JSON file for this, so that all you have to do is go create new scenario. If you have make.com, so log into make.com, create a new scenario, import the blueprint that I'll put in the description. And yeah, I hope you found some value in this video. It's been an absolute pleasure. Look, we help businesses use systems like this to book more appointments into their diaries, into their calendars. Um, I've showed you all this, but really, you can just let me do all that and worry about all this for you. And all you have to worry about is closing your leads. At the moment, we have a special offer where we're 5 appointments in 20 days with your ideal prospect. If we don't deliver those 5 appointments, your money comes back to you, full refund. So uh, if you're interested, you're more than welcome to shoot me a message. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Peace.